In a quiet little town, nestled between rolling hills and a deep ancient forest, lived a boy named Leo. Leo was a quiet soul, more comfortable with the rustle of leaves than the chatter of the playground. He spent most of his days exploring the woods behind his house, a sketchbook and a set of charcoal pencils always in his backpack. He'd draw the ancient oaks, the dappled sunlight on the forest floor, and the shy deer that sometimes peeked out from behind the ferns. But what he really longed for was a friend. Someone who understood his love for the silent, magical world of the forest. One crisp autumn afternoon, as golden leaves spiraled down from the canopy, Leo was trying to capture the intricate pattern of moss on a fallen log. He was so focused he didn't notice the pair of curious amber eyes watching him from a nearby thicket. A flash of orange fur caught his eye. He looked up, and there, just a few feet away, sat a young fox. It wasn't skittish or afraid like the other forest creatures. Its head was tilted, its ears perked, as if it were studying him with the same intensity he studied the moss. Its coat was the color of a sunset, with a white-tipped tail that twitched ever so slightly. Leo held his breath, not wanting to scare it away. Slowly, he reached into his bag and pulled out the sandwich his mum had packed for him. He carefully broke off a small piece of bread and crust, placing it on the ground between them. The fox's nose twitched. It took a hesitant step forward, then another, its amber eyes never leaving Leo's. With a final swift movement, it snatched the piece of bread and darted back into the bushes. Leo smiled. It was the start of something special. He returned to the same spot the next day and the next. And every day the fox was there, waiting. Leo named him Finn. He learned that Finn loved the smell of his charcoal pencils and the soft crinkle of his sketchbook pages. Finn would sit patiently as Leo drew, sometimes dozing in a patch of sunlight. His fiery fur a stark contrast against the green forest floor. Leo would talk to Finn, telling him about his day, his dreams, and the pictures he wanted to create. Finn, in return, would listen, his ears twitching, occasionally letting out a soft yip as if in response. Their friendship deepened with the passing seasons. In winter, they'd chase snowflakes together, Finn leaving a trail of tiny paw prints in the fresh powder. Leo built a small, warm shelter for Finn from fallen branches and dry leaves, a cozy haven against the biting wind. In spring, Finn would lead Leo to secret patches of wildflowers. Their colors so vibrant they seemed to leap off the page when Leo drew them. They discovered hidden streams and watched tadpoles wiggle in the clear water. And in the summer, they would lie in the tall grass, watching the clouds drift by, two friends content in each other's silent company. One day, while exploring a part of the forest they'd never been to before, they stumbled upon an old, abandoned logger's cabin. The door hung on a single hinge, and the windows were shattered, but inside it was a treasure trove. Old tools, forgotten maps, and a dusty journal filled with sketches of the very same forest they called home. As Leo flipped through the brittle pages, he saw drawings of a man and a fox, playing by the stream, sharing a meal, just like him and Finn. He realized their friendship wasn't the first of its kind. The forest had a long history of connecting lonely souls. Inspired, Leo started a new project. He wouldn't just draw the forest, he would tell its stories. He began to draw him and Finn, capturing their adventures on paper. He drew Finn chasing a butterfly, Finn curled up asleep on his backpack, and the two of them sitting on a hilltop, watching the sun set over their town. His drawings were no longer just pictures of trees and flowers. They were alive with warmth, with the story of their unique bond. Word of the boy and the fox began to spread through the town. At first, people were skeptical. But when Leo's mum convinced him to display his drawings at the local community fair, everything changed. The townspeople gathered around his little booth, mesmerized. They saw the forest not as a dark, unknown place, but as a world of wonder and friendship, all through Leo's eyes. They saw the love between a boy and his wild companion, a connection that needed no words. Leo was no longer the quiet, solitary boy. He found himself talking to people, sharing the stories behind each drawing. The other children, who once found him strange, now crowded around him, asking about Finn and his adventures in the woods. Leo had found his voice, and it was all because of his silent, furry friend. He had found a way to share his world with others. But as autumn returned, a year after they first met, Leo noticed Finn seemed restless. He would often look towards the deeper parts of the woods, his ears perked, listening for a call only he could hear. One afternoon, as the sun began to dip below the hills, another fox appeared at the edge of the clearing. It was older, with a wise look in its eyes, and it called to Finn with a soft bark. Finn looked back at Leo, his amber eyes filled with a mix of sadness and longing. Leo understood. Finn had his own family, his own world to return to. His heart ached, but he knew he couldn't be selfish. He knelt down and gave Finn one last, gentle pat on the head. He whispered, "It's okay, Finn, go on." Finn licked his hand one final time, a silent goodbye, before turning and trotting off into the woods with the other fox, his white-tipped tail disappearing into the twilight. Tears streamed down Leo's face as he watched them go. The forest felt suddenly quiet, suddenly empty. He returned home, his sketchbook feeling heavy in his hands. For days, he didn't feel like drawing. The woods seemed to have lost their magic without his friend. But then, one morning, he woke up to find a single, perfect red maple leaf left on his windowsill. He knew, somehow, it was from Finn, a message, a memory. He picked up the leaf and smiled through his tears. Finn was gone, but their friendship wasn't. It lived on in the rustle of the leaves, in the dappled sunlight, and in every single drawing he had ever made. Leo picked up his charcoal pencils again. He drew Finn, not with sadness, but with joy, celebrating the incredible friend who had taught him how to see the magic in the world and, more importantly, how to share it. Leo knew he would never be truly alone again. The forest was his friend, and in his heart, Finn would be with him always, a flash of sunset orange, a silent companion on every new adventure. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed our story, please like and subscribe for more.